Hello, everyone. My name is Cherissa Jackson. I am Bees Knees medical consultant, and I'm here today to talk to you about several myths that is going around about hemp and hemp-derived products. So the first myth that we're going to talk about is that the product will cause you to be high or cause you to have psychoactive side effects. So that's going to be the first myth in a series of different myths that I'm going to talk about. So let's talk about hemp and some history behind it, where it's come from, so that we can start from there so you'll understand why hemp has gotten the reputation it has and to educate you on the real truth about the product. So hemp has been used for many, many, many years. 50,000 years ago, hemp was used for textile industrial purposes, for paper, for making clothing, shoes, paper product, even insulation. And as this plant continues to grow, it grows pretty much like a bamboo. They found the good in this plant, and they found that it could be used for other things. And so when you look at the plant and hemp itself, hemp does not have a lot of THC in it. As a matter of fact, it only has 0.3% of THC in it. And that very small amount of THC will not make you high or get you high or you experience any psychoactive material. So hemp actually has more CBD in it than it does THC, which makes it legal, makes it a product that can be used and you not experience that high feeling. And it is just an efficacious product because it does have a higher concentration of CBD. The efficacy that we see in CBD is the same for hemp-derived products. It's still being used for anxiety, depression, PTSD, for pain. And so that's why it's a product. If you don't want that psychoactive effect, if you don't want that high feeling, you want to err on the side of using hemp-derived CBD products. So again, remember that hemp will not make you high. It does not have that psychoactive material. It has more CBD in it. As we know, CBD is very efficacious when it comes to pain, anxiety, depression. It also cushions the brain. There's some skin products, cosmetics that has CBD and hemp in it. All of those things are great for the body, and it allows the plant to do what it's supposed to do and be efficacious for those conditions. So what should you do in the community when you're hearing people talk about hemp and that, oh my God, I got high using this particular product? The first thing you should say is you may want to check the label of the product that you're using, because if it's hemp, it should not have more than what? 0.3% of THC in it. And also when someone says, oh my God, I got some psychoactive effect and I was kind of woozy and, I was high, you should also say to them, number one, it wasn't because of the hemp. It must be because of the other products that may be in the actual product that you're using. So you, by coming here to the hive to educate yourself about hemp and hemp-derived products, you can now help us educate the community to dispel these myths, to dispel the things that people are out here spreading that's wrong about the plant and making the plant have a bad reputation. So knowledge is power. So now that you know better, you can do better, and you can educate people when they're coming to you with the wrong information. So if you're going to be using hemp, because now you know that it's not going to have psychoactive effect and make you high, make sure you journal your experience. Make sure you track your success, and make sure you track how efficacious the plant is and is doing for the conditions that you're taking the plant for. This way, you could be a testimonial to people when they are out here saying these myths and saying these bad things about the plant. You can be a testimony to say, no, it's not. This is what I use. It was hemp, less than 3% THC, and it helped me with these particular conditions. As of 2018, the Farm Bill, i.e. the Agriculture Improvement Act of 2018, it was signed into law in 2018, December to be specifically, that hemp with extremely low concentrations of THC, no more than 0.3% of Delta 9 THC on dried weight was removed from the Controlled Substance Act. So when it was removed from the Controlled Substance Act by law, it became legal. So hemp-derived products are not addictive. Let me repeat that. It is not addictive. And so it's important to understand that hemp-derived products have a higher concentration of CBD and has a very low concentration of THC, which means that it prevents you from having that psychoactive effect, which is what a lot of people have experienced. It's causing them to be high. And over time, if you experience this with high levels of THC, it can become addictive. But hemp, however, as you have learned in the previous videos, has very low THC. Only 0.3% THC is in hemp-derived products. And because of that, again, it makes a person not have that high feeling or have that psychoactive effect. So with that being said, for people out here who have had hemp products and have said that they have had a high feeling or that they have had a psychoactive effect, I would caution them in saying that, but ask them to check their products and make sure the product is truly a hemp product. You can actually look on the certificate of analysis and actually see what percentage of THC is in that product. So most times, when people do have this type of effect and they say it's a hemp-derived product, it's because it truly isn't. And the best way to find that out is by looking at the certificate of analysis. And so secondly, if you hear someone or if you're on the edge about whether or not you want to try the product because you've heard that it can be addictive, is to learn about it yourself, which is why you're here. And I am stating again, it is not an addictive product because it doesn't have a huge amount of THC in it, and it cannot be hemp, according to the Farm Bill, with higher levels or higher concentrations of THC greater than 0.3%. So are all hemp-derived products the same? I think it's kind of self-explanatory, but I think it's important to really dive into this conversation because now we can really understand different routes of administration that makes hemp-derived products different. But before we get into that, let's make sure that you understand that the certificate of analysis, that everybody needs to understand that the certificate of analysis will give you the breakdown of what components are in the product that you're about to take or use. So by looking at that certificate analysis, you get to see all of the ingredients, you get to see everything that's in that product. And that's what really differentiates hemp products from each other. Now, the commonality that we have amongst all of the hemp-derived products is the fact that they cannot have more than 0.3% of THC. So that is the commonality. No matter what hemp-derived product you get, they have to have no more than 0.3% THC in it. Again, low concentration of THC, they may have a higher concentration of CBD, but to be considered hemp and for it to be legal, for it to have no psychoactive properties, and for it not to get you high, it must have less than 0.3% THC. So from a standpoint of the commonalities of hemp-derived products, that's the commonality. As far as differences, of course, there are going to be differences in hemp-derived products. You can't walk into a mall and you try on 50 dresses expecting all 50 of those dresses to be the same. That is not how it works. What does work and what is the same is if you're a size 6, you're going to be a size 6 in all of those dresses. But the style, the color, those types of things will be different. It's the same concept for hemp-derived products. So when you're looking for the desired hemp-derived product, you want to determine what route of administration you want to use because every gummy, every tincture, every ointment or rub is not going to be the same. So you have to decide for yourself, if I take a gummy, the difference between the different companies that produce hemp gummies or CBD gummies, some may have a flavor that you like, some may not have a flavor that you like. Some may be very sugary, some can be taffy-like. So those are the differences. So one does not fit it as far as all the products being the same thing. That would be be not realistic to go inside the dispensary thinking you're going to see the same products across the board. There's many manufacturers, there's many companies producing different hemp products. So one gummy for one company may not be the same gummy for another company because the flavors may be different, the sugar content may be different, the texture of it may be different as far as a gummy over a taffy. And so the same thing for a rub. Some rubs have more menthol in it, so you'll get that minty, feel good, tingly sensation. Some may not have it in there. As far as a tincture may have those flavonoids in it that have that taste that you like. That could be orangey or grapey, and you may not like those flavors. So it's not the same across the board as far as buying one gummy is going to be the same for all gummies. That's not the case. But the one important component that is the same across the board is the concentration of THC in the product. So just make sure you keep that in mind because you want to be knowledgeable about that. Choose your route of administration, determine what kind of flavor or texture you want, but know that if it's hemp-derived product, the same component that is in all of them is the less than 0.3% THC. Hemp affect and take into effect immediately? Does it go into effect immediately? Does it work immediately? Do I take it and then am I going to feel better? Is the pain going to go away? Am I going to sleep immediately? And the answer to that and many more questions around how long will it take is it will not happen immediately. I think it's unrealistic to think that the medication will take effect immediately. When you look at medications, when you take a blood pressure medication, when you take Tylenol, it takes a little while for the medication to actually start working. So it's the same thing with hemp. But some things to consider with hemp to determine how quickly it's going to take effect are some things that I want you to consider. First and foremost, your route of administration or the type of product you're going to be taking. For example, if you're taking a gummy or an ointment. An ointment, i.e. a rub or a roll-on, when you roll that onto the achy part of your body, that pain spot that's on your leg, on your thigh, on your elbow, or wherever the case may be, that's in pain, with a topical, with an ointment, it can take up to 15 minutes for you to actually start feeling the pain lessening or the pain improving. And that ointment, that rub that you put on that spot can last up to anywhere between 2 to 6 hours, depending on of course, the components of the ointment, how much of that ointment you put on, how often that you're putting it on, depending on the directions. So of course, you want to follow the directions for that particular thing. But again, the key component is it takes about 15 minutes for it to actually start working, to lessen the pain, and it can linger for about 2 to 6 hours. And when you take a gummy on the other hand can be different. So a gummy, when you ingest that, of course, it has to metabolize. It has to go through the stomach. It has to metabolize through its natural means. So something to consider when you're taking a gummy is how do you metabolize products? If you're a slow metabolizer, that gummy may take a while to actually start working. Typically, the range for a gummy or any oral product is 30 minutes to an hour. That sweet spot is usually about 45 minutes. But if you are a slow metabolizer, it's going to take a while for that product to take effect. So keep in mind that if you take a product, a gummy or an oral product, and within that 45 minutes to an hour, that product is not working, it could be because you're a slow metabolizer. So give it time to actually do the work. Do not take another gummy. Do not ingest another oral product because you haven't gotten the desired effect from the gummy. It takes time. Again, the sweet spot is about 45 minutes. Some people have said they felt it at 30 minutes. Some people have said that they felt it in an hour. But the thing about it is, depending on your metabolism and how your body absorbs the product, did you eat it, take a gummy on an empty stomach? Those things can determine when the product will actually start being effective. but don't take another gummy because you're waiting and you are impatient waiting for the outcome that you're looking for. So just be patient. A gummy will linger in your system for about 6 to 8 hours. So once it hits its peak, then you can have that desired effect. It will linger for about 6 to 8 hours, giving you that comfort that you desire. And so, with that being said, just know that you have to just wait and be patient with the product and know that regardless of which route you take, if you took a gummy, if you take a tincture, if you do a rub, those things are not going to be in effect immediately. So we talked about a gummy, we talked about a rub. Let's talk about tinctures. Tinctures are those products, the oil that you actually put underneath your tongue and it goes into your bloodstream. So that will be the fastest product that will see results a little faster than a gummy or a rub because you're putting it into your bloodstream immediately because it's going through your sublingual, it's going through your gums. So with that, you will probably feel some sensation, some relief sooner than the 30 minutes to an hour. But it just depends on your system. So if you're looking for something really quick and really fast to take effect, you may want to continue your tincture first because it will go into your bloodstream. And then you may want to think about an ointment if it's a product or if there's some pain that you can rub an ointment. Rub the ointment on, like your leg, your hands, your feet, your thigh, your back. You may want to consider an ointment. And then, of course, if you got some time, you're not impatient, and you are ready to get yourself settled for the night in order to get some sleep or whatever, you can certainly take a gummy because it does take a little while longer for a gummy to take effect. So take all of these hints into consideration when you're choosing a product because not all products will take effect immediately. And you want to determine which route you want to take if you want that desired effect a little quicker compared to other products. So I hope this helps. Continue to come back to the Hive to get great information to help you be more informed that you can pick the right products for you and the desired outcome that you want. Remember, not all products are created equally. So check out the certificate of analysis so you can see all of the components of the product and that you can be better informed to make the wisest decision for you so that you can heal and have the right medication at hand to heal some of your conditions. So continue to follow the Hive. Thanks for watching this series. Just know that we're here to give you the best information and that we're here to provide you the content that can help you be more informed. So continue to follow the Hive. Thanks for watching the video. Bye.